Let's go, man. I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to be on this live here today with one of the, I'll tell you what, with one of the people with the nation's top organizations, one of the largest ones here at the company at EXP. I'll tell you what, my man, Chris Soignier. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, Nick. How are you?
Man, I'm doing really good. And, especially after, with somebody as big of an organization you have, as much as you have going on, to spend an entire week with us in our organization. Let me ask you this, Chris, why did you see it important for your business and even your group for you to spend an entire week with us to learn more?
Well, there's been a lot of interest in AI out in the general marketplace and everything. And, I've looked at this at first. I was a little skeptical. I scratched the surface learning on my own. And what I realized is that this is a once in a generation opportunity to distance yourself from the competition. So I want to get ahead of the curve. I want to be able to help my agents gain a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
And help them be AI proficient as well.
Yeah.
And so, hey, how could I pass up the opportunity? We've been working together for a while. I know you don't half-ass anything you do. And I'm just honored to have the opportunity to go down this path with you though.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just threw that tag on there for you too, Chris, if you want to check that out. And so guys, what Chris just did this last week is spent an entire week with us, one of the nation's top AI real estate companies. So that way he can learn how to better use it, not just for his business, help his agents and help more people. So going through this week, so Chris, tell me, what were some of your biggest takeaways that you had becoming one of the world's first AI certified agents?
Like I said, I've played around with AI a little bit.
Yeah.
Before this, and I was impressed with some of the things it could do. I had to write a couple songs and do some stuff. But really learning how to train the AI, in the minds of, like, say, creating ideal client profiles.
Yeah.
And building those, like, what are the fears? What are the motivations? What could life look like if you solve their problems for them? And then,
right.
Building content on that. That was really powerful.
Yeah.
And just, all the things it can do, writing the styles of certain people, using different emotions and things like that. It just, it was pretty mind blowing. And so that's pretty powerful. You just, once you get this figured out, you'll never be lacking for content.
Man, yeah, especially like as a company of what we've been doing, the biggest thing that we've always heard from agents, I don't know what to do and I don't know what to say when it comes to content, creating videos, creating headlines. And I believe it's for agents, it takes two completely sides of the brain. Like you almost have to switch gears when you go from selling over the phone, talking to agents all day, and then, all right, now I got to get creative and write content.
Yeah. So, sometimes in the past, I'm not the most creative guy. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes like Facebook is sometimes something you like, can't live with it, can't live without it,
Right.
Like, oh, I got to come up with something. And so this really makes it just a lot easier.
Yeah.
To do it. And the cool thing is, it's not just with the writing stuff. But, I actually posted something last week and I had AI create an image to go along with the post that really complimented it well, and now you can use AI to chop up your long form videos into reels and shorts, and create almost unlimited video content, without having to pay a video editor, all this money, or to be able to have to slave away, at trying to do video editing myself, which is certainly not one of my core competencies.
Man, and dude, when you came out to the content house too, remember we got all that video content that you can now just put in that Opus tool and create mass amounts of reels.
Absolutely. So I'm working on that. Yes.
Yeah. And that's what I was kind of hinting. I'm like, oh, you could pay us, you could pay someone else. I'm like, or you could just wait a little bit because there's some really cool things coming out that can do that for you.
Yep, and it's here.
Yeah, and it's here. And I think it's there's a fear that's kind of stemming around artificial intelligence. And I believe a lot of the fear is just in the unknown, right? Because I know like there was fear when the internet came around. There's fear when social media came around. Now there's fear with artificial intelligence. So from what you learned more like throughout this last week, what can you tell me that may have alleviated if you had fear or just some of that fear that stems around it?
I think fear, it's natural for unknown, and a lot of times change creates fear,
Yeah.
Because things are going to be different. You can't just sit still and do your same routine over and over again. But for me, the change just is what creates opportunity for us,
Mm.
because if, like say, go back to, the late 1990s, hey, you can embrace the internet or could have been left behind it, and, I made a lot of bets in the internet. Thankfully, I happened to be working for a technology company. I invested heavily in tech companies, and, of course, there's more volatility, ups and downs, but
Yeah.
it served me very well. And, I just embraced tech a lot and still do. Not as a coder, but, liking to make sure I stay up to what's going on with technology and how you can use it.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this is like I've always been tech friendly, but not from the coding side or anything. Last thing I want to do is to learn how to, write software or anything like that. But the AI now is just like, I can pretend like if I have a real VA or an employee, I could tell it like, hey, write me an Instagram post,
Yeah.
keep it 200 words or less, and using it in a style to elicit trust. Add some emoji to elicit attention.
Yeah.
Just in common language, and you can tell once you've trained your AI, about your ideal client profile, it can do a lot of the same stuff. And
Yeah.
it never quits, it never has a bad day. It never, gets snarky on you.
Right.
Ask for a raise or any money. It's just always there, always ready to work. And it can outdo what I tell it to.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny when we created this class, I was really excited about the ideal client profile, but I'm like, man, I don't know if other agents will be as excited as I am. And for a lot of people, that was almost their favorite day, going through the ideal client profile. And I believe that's a step in the content cycle that is just so commonly missed. Who are you creating content for? And not just what is their internal dialogue? What are their fears, their motivations, their feelings? What are they saying around the dinner table? And by going through this, we're able to answer all of those and now create content for it. So for you, now that you have a fully trained Chat GPT, everything ready to go, let me ask you this, Chris. What are the next steps for Chris? What do you plan on doing with this?
Oh, just, a lot more content.
Yeah.
I want to be omnipresent across my key social media channels, or, right now, our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I know I probably should embrace TikTok more. Yeah. So far, I can't,
Yeah. Get it going to all the different platforms. Yeah.
I probably have a lot to learn to get at that, but I know it's a great place to go viral very quickly. So
yeah,
I should probably get more on top of that. And so I'll play around with it a bit and see what happens there. Although I don't think of myself as like the core person for TikTok, but I want to do that. I want to get more into video. I've definitely got some long form videos to chop up and everything and create. I've played around with the Opus Pro a little bit on that, and it doesn't always focus on the right speaker always at the right time and everything. So sometimes you might have to run it through a couple of times. A lot of stuff is still it's in its infancy, so it's
right.
Not always perfect, but got to do a couple of different takes. But I'm definitely working on upping my video game through this, and I'm going to come out with a lot of content on this. I actually did a mastermind for my team back last Friday.
Tell me how did that go for you? Like, now going through the class for the week and then being able to because that mastermind was kind of on the spot for you too, right?
I was asked to host it the day before. And so I'm thinking like, okay, I'll do this. And started off kind of like, hey, everybody, just ask for wins and what's going on with the group, and who needs help, and trying to address specific challenges or, ways I could help them. But then once we got through that pretty quickly, then we started talking about AI, and there's a lot of interest, and they really want to have a webinar on that. So I'm going to really digest my notes, see if I can compress a lot of this into an hour or two, and and then tomorrow I'm hosting a local mastermind. So hey, if you're a realtor, if you're in like Northeast Tarrant County or DFW, and you want to come, just ping me on Facebook and everything. I'll be happy to give you an invite to it. So we're doing it tomorrow at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's right in Colleyville, Texas.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited for that, especially just like a big thing for our company has always been making things simple enough for everybody to be actually implementable. Because if you can't implement it, I say it doesn't really work. You could tell me it's the best thing in the world, but if you can't actually use it, and just to hear you put it on a mastermind that Friday after being with us for a week, and then being able to put on a mastermind in person, that shows that like you're actually able to use this. So Chris, here's my final question for you here, my man. What does it mean to you to be one of the world's first AI certified agents?
Well, first off, it's really exciting. I feel like a pioneer, it's, and I know there's a lot of people that are using AI that are not certified, but to actually have that certification, and be one of the first 42 in the world to have it, that's pretty exciting. And, I definitely want to take advantage of it and make use of it to help give me a competitive advantage. And, all the people I care about, my team, my clients, and anyone I can help locally here. So, I think it's a big weight to have on my shoulders to have this information and not squander it, and really help others grow with it, because it is just, I think a lot of people are just really underestimating the power that this can provide to our businesses. And, not just to our business, but on the other side, you can use it to grow, and then you can also use it to greatly improve your work-life balance. It can shave hours and hours off your weekly schedule of things you do. And, hopefully you can give some hours back to your family, your friends, your hobbies, and go about living a richer, fuller life, which I'm all about.
Go out there go watch some dirt bike races.
Yeah, so it's very, very consistent with how I've been living my life for years now, in terms of having a nice balance between work and personal life.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's funny. When we came back from this weekend, my brother was watching some of the motocross. I guess there was like one of the finals or like the last heats that he was watching. He came back and I was like, man, I heard the dirt bikes going on. I'm like, oh man, I wonder if Chris is watching that right now. There was like the finalists last week.
New Jersey, that Mudfest.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Nice, guys. So if you're interested in becoming one of the world's first AI certified agents, go to crim.ai.com. And if you're an agent in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you want to learn more about AI, reach out to Chris. He's doing a local mastermind next week. Chris, thank you.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow, guys. So you don't want to miss it. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Chris is doing a mastermind on AI tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably follow up with another one in the weeks to come and everything. So, hey, if you can't make it tomorrow, still reach out to me, let me know, and I'll certainly give you a heads up when our next one is.
Absolutely. Guys, if you want to learn more about being an AI certified agent, go to crim.ai.com or reach out to my man, Chris. Chris, thank you so much for coming on, guys. And we got more AI certified agents coming to you guys soon.
Okay, thanks so much, Nick. Have a great day.